Tink. Tink. Alright, Tink says hey. Yep, there's the paw. He says hey. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to jack up your trailer, car, truck, whatever it is you're packing the bearings in. And you're going to want to lock it down securely on jack stands. You don't ever want to work on a vehicle without jack stands. Never rely on a jack to do the job. After you get your vehicle jacked up, put on jack stands, make sure it's locked down and safe and sturdy. It's not going to go anywhere, so you can work on it. You're going to want to get your tire off. Like I said in the rotate tire video, leave the weight on the tire, break it loose, don't step on it, pull up on the bar, and we'll get this tire off and we'll go from there. So let's get this tire off. Alright, so now after you've gotten your tire off, the next step is to remove the grease cap. This is a trailer hub. Yours may not look like this. You may actually have a brake drum or brakes or various other things that hook to it, whether you're working on a car or a truck or something like that, but this is going to give you the basic rundown of what we're doing. Now in order to get this cap off, you have two options. 3, 4, 5,000 options actually. You can take a pair of pliers, and if it hasn't been on there that long, you can grab it and pull and wiggle, and sometimes they'll come off. Such as that. As you can see it, you may be able to see it, it's moving just like that. Or if it's good and stuck, you take a chisel or a screwdriver works, because you don't need to bang on this. You don't want to deform the cap. You can set it right inside the groove. There's a lip on your grease seal, and you'll tap. And you'll see that seal come out. Do not beat on it, just tap on it. And then just like that. Okay, so now once you've got your grease cap off, you've checked all your bearings and everything, chances are you're going to have a cotter pin or some sort of locking mechanism here. As you can see here, we have a cotter pin in place. So what we're going to do is we're going to bend this cotter pin right out of the way. Tap it down. We want to get this cotter pin up to a point where we can get our side cutters on it, wire snips, whatever you want to call them. And once you get a hold of that, just bend that up, grab it and pull. Just work it out just like that. See how I did that? It's leverage. You want to use your cotter pin as leverage. You want to get a good bite, put it against the edge and pull apart, and that'll pull that right out. Now, never reuse a cotter pin unless it's absolutely necessary. Technically, there's nothing wrong with this cotter pin. For what it does, it will do, but we have new ones, and we'll put a new one in this one. Now from here, on this, you're going to want to take this nut out. These nuts, they should never be tight. You should never need a socket or a wrench to do it. Hand tight is usually, and 99.9% of the time, the correct way to do it. We're going to remove that. I'm going to slide this off. I'm going to pop our bearing out. And as you can see, it does definitely need to be cleaned and re-greased. Okay, and then on the back, as you can see, we have what's called a grease seal. This holds the grease inside the bearing and keeps it from flowing out. So under temperature, it will start to run, and just the centrifugal force will sling it out. Okay, so once you got your hub off, you're going to see a seal on the back side. A lot of times you'll be able to put the nut back on and actually use the nut as a wedge to drive this out as you pull the hub off. Unfortunately, this one won't fit through. It won't fit past the races, so we're going to have to go about a different route, which is good. I'll show you. If you have a seal puller or have access to a seal puller, you're going to want to use that. And in all honesty, you're going to want to change this seal out. You're going to always want to put a new seal in, because you do not honestly know whether this one's good or not. But I'm going to show you how to drive this out. Now, you're going to take a punch or anything solid, piece of solid rod, anything, preferably a brass, copper, soft metal punch, something that won't mar your bearing. And you're not going to want to beat on this. You're just going to want to slightly drive it out. But take your punch, put it in right there on your bearing. Try to keep it off the rollers. Hold it steady and tap. And then just work your way around. Alright, so now once you've got your seal out, you got your rear bearing out, and now you're going to want to take some rags, some solvent. If you got a parts washer, that would be great, but you're going to want to get in here and try to get all the old grease out you can. The cleaner it is, the better off you are. And this way you can check your races. I'll show you that. Right there is a race. That smooth shiny spot. You want to make sure it doesn't have any cracks or gouges or anything's cracked in it. And once you get all that cleaned out, then we can move on to packing the bearings. I'll show you how to pack the grease in the bearings. We're going to pack our bearings now. So I'm going to show you the old school way that I was taught to pack them. Everybody packs them a different way. I've seen 50 different ways to pack bearings. If you have a bearing packer, a machine to pack bearings, go by the instructions or details according to your packer. I'm just going to show you the old school way I was taught how to do it. So it's messy, but here's how it goes. You get your wad of grease, slap it in the palm of your hand. Get any dirt that's in it out of it. Take your bearing, flip it to the back side, which is the widest lip. As you can see, there's a thin lip which is on the front and a wide lip on the back. Get a grip on it and push that in. And just take little dabs at a time and keep packing it down. That's called packing. See the grease come through? That's what you want. That means it's pushed grease all the way up through the rollers. Move it to the next clean spot. Keep going. Move it to the next clean spot. Keep right on going. When the inside of this fills up, just goop it out. Like I said, this is very messy, but it does work. This is the absolute best way I've ever seen to pack bearings because it guarantees I can see them pack. I know there's grease all the way up in those bearings. So. Alright, so now you got your bearings packed. It's time to put it all back together. So let me show you how we put it back together. Take your large bearing. It goes in the same order it came apart. Relatively simple on this side. Your large bearing, make sure you got grease inside there. Drop your bearing in. Now it's time for your seal. Put your seal in. If you have a seal driver, now's the time to use it. Me, I have a dead blow hammer. So I'm just going to drive this seal down until it's flush with the lip. If you need a little help making sure it's flush, you can take a piece of wood. And the seal is flush. Now take your seal, slide it on your spindle, make sure it fits and moves like it's supposed to. Take your small forward bearing, slide it on, put some grease around it. Usually what comes out of the bearing after you pack it, just slide that on. Take your washer, slide it on, take your nut, spin it on. Now, on this part where you put the nut on, there's no point in grabbing a socket unless you just want to, because you don't want to tighten this. That's it. That's all you're after. You just want to take the slack out of it. You don't want any kind of play in and out motions. And then from there, we just find our hole to line up our cotter pin, which I don't have. So let me go find the cotter pin and I'll be right back. Alright, so after I went and found the cotter pin, now we're ready to put the cotter pin in. This is what's going to lock your castle nut into place. You just find the hole, go straight through the spindle. Just find your hole, put it in, bend it out. You can tap it into place. Just like that. Bend this ear over. Tap it down flat. Take your cutters. Snip this ear off. Mine's really long. Yours may not be. So, and then reach inside of here in this long straight leg. Snip it off. Don't flip that leg over. There's no point in it. This cotter pin is to do nothing more than to keep that castle nut from backing off, so you do not make yourself more trouble by bending both legs over. Now, all you got to do if you ever have to take this off again is fold this one leg over, pull the cotter pin out. This cotter pin is actually going to be more easy to reuse than one that's doubled over. All right, from here, take your grease cap. I see a lot of people pack grease into these. It does no good. All it does is get hard and actually traps dirt and stuff inside of it. I don't worry about it. If it makes you feel better, you feel free to pack it. Put your grease cap back on. Tap it in place, give it a spin, give it a tug. You're good to go. Now just put your tire back on. Make sure you get your lug nuts tight. Make sure you get your lug nuts torqued down to the specifications they're supposed to be. Then you can take it off the jack stands. We hope you enjoyed. I hope you learned something. I shared a couple of tricks with you that I've learned over the years. If you did enjoy it, give us a thumbs up. Like, comment, subscribe. Check back for more videos. We appreciate you. Take care.